Look, we owe 36 trillion for a reason. The reason is the trade, and also the endless wars, the stupid wars that we fought. We go into the Middle East, we blow it up, we leave, we don't get anything. And you're a big fan of exactly what I'm saying, meaning let's not do this stupid stuff.
Doesn't work.
It's stupid. Endless wars that they don't even want us. We got into wars, they didn't even want us. So all of that stuff. When I left 4 years ago, we had no wars. We had no Israel and Hamas. And by the way, it would have never happened because Iran was broke. They were broke. I had sanctions that were so strong on Iran. They were totally broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah. We didn't have Russia, Ukraine. That would have never happened, by the way. We didn't have the Afghanistan embarrassment, one of the great embarrassments in the history of our country. We didn't have any inflation.
I know.
Don't forget, I charged China hundreds of billions worth of tariffs. They talk about inflation. We had no inflation. Because that doesn't cause inflation. Stupidity causes inflation. High energy caused inflation. When they took over my energy, we were making it like nobody's ever seen. And then the prices doubled. By the way, because of that, Putin went in. If they kept, you see what's going on with energy now, it's going down.
Yeah.
It makes it much harder for Putin to prosecute the war. So we have a lot of great things on the horizon.
One of your spokespeople came out today and said that you're tired, getting fatigued with Zelenskyy. I think he treated you poorly in the Oval, myself. He's kind of a punk. But is he the problem?
You said it.
Yeah. Is he the problem? Is Putin the problem? Or is Europe the problem?
So look, Russia's a very big military force, and Ukraine isn't. Without Ukraine, and I'm the one that supplied the javelins to them, so I did a lot for them because the tanks got stuck in the mud, and then they got javelins, right? And they always say Trump gave the javelins, and it was, in that case, Obama gave sheets. He gave sheets. They sent nothing. But Biden gave money like nobody's ever seen before, $350 billion. What he did is, look, between the border and the this and the that, but this war is so bad. And remember this, I say it here, I say it every time, this is Biden's war, not my war. I'm just trying to end it. And I'm actually ending it, yes, for money, but I'm not ending it for that, number one. I'm ending it because they're losing 5,000 people a week. Young soldiers are being killed, Russian and Ukrainian both. But in the end, Russia has a lot of soldiers, and they have a very big military. And things were said, like when Zelenskyy was in the Oval Office, I was talking about getting it done, and he starts screaming, but we need security, meaning security after the fact. I said, security? I don't even know if we can get this deal done. He's asking for more, just more and more and more. And he doesn't have the cards, as you know, because you see what's happening over there. He doesn't have the cards. So hopefully he's going to get it done, because I don't believe that Vladimir Putin would be doing this for anybody else but me. A lot of people have said it too. I think he had the idea of going all the way through. I think he's willing to make a deal. And I would say thus far, he's been easier to deal with than Zelenskyy. Thus far. I'm not so popular in Europe because of what I've done, but in many ways I am popular. People don't want to see us fail.
If it wasn't for their press that is worse than ours, because most of it is state-run, I think you would be popular, because the people are in the same position.
They get it.
They get it. It's happening in their country, and I don't understand how.
It is happening over there. It's happening.
I just read a report that they said Sweden, the Netherlands, could be out by 2030. I talked to Liz Truss just a couple of weeks ago, and she said, Glenn, England is a failed state.
Yeah.
How are the...
She's been very nice. She's been saying good things about me. She got...
The shaft.
I think so. She basically said, I want to reduce taxes. And they threw her out.
Yeah.
And she was right. You know, I reduced taxes. It's one of the things that made us do so well.
Yeah.
Because we had the strongest economy in history during my first 4 years. You know, my first 4 years was incredible. I think we're going to do even better now. But we have a chance to do something that's monumental, and I'm in the process of doing it right now.
But how do you negotiate with a group of elites who, honestly, they were for the Great Reset, the WEF Great Reset?
I don't have to negotiate. I don't have to negotiate. I'm talking to people out of respect, but I don't have to. So we're this giant store that people want to come in and buy from. We're the United States. We have the richest consumer, et cetera, right? But we're not going to be that way for long if we don't do something. But we're this giant store, and they all want to come in and they want to take our product. But to take our product, they're going to have to pay. And we'll either make a deal with them or we'll just set a price, because some countries are worse than others. Some countries have ripped us off really badly, and some countries have just ripped us off a little bit. But almost all of them have ripped us off because we've had really poor leadership. And what's going to happen is we're going to negotiate with, we're negotiating with 70 different countries. And we're negotiating, we're showing great respect. But in the end, we may make deals, but either that or I just set a price. I said, here's what you're going to pay for the privilege of servicing the United States of America. And they have an option. They can maybe talk to me a little bit, or they can not shop. You know, they don't have to shop at this big store, or they can shop.
Right.
But in any event, they're going to have to pay.